London, crunching numbers all day long. He's like a machine with this boring routine, but everybody's reading him wrong. Come Saturdays round September, he's not the guy you remember. He's lighting up the charcoal lights and down the long neck, acting a fool with a bunch of crazy rednecks, partying harder than all the frat boys around. All bets are off once you put the tailgate down.
Hello. It is Wednesday night, and this is the Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and we are on a special night tonight. Normally we're on Saturday nights at 9 p.m., but tonight we have a special guest lined up for you, and I'm going to bring him on in just a couple of moments. And you just heard one of his songs, which went to number one on the indie music charts. It's called the Tailgate Song, and I thought it was totally appropriate to start the show with that because, as you know, if we've got any football fans out there, we are right, tailgate season is right upon us. So without further ado, I want to bring on Mr. Nathan Osmond.
How you doing,
Nathan,
Don?
how are you? Hey,
I'm doing great.
Good.
What's that?
Thank you so much for being with us. I said thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Well, it's an honor to be here. I just clicked like on your Jammin Jukebox Facebook page.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. And but we're just ecstatic to have you here. And the fans, there's been a lot of buzz about this on Twitter. I've been promoting it pretty heavily, but got quite a few fans in the chat room tonight. They're, I'm sure, anxious to talk with you and to hear the show. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us.
Are you kidding? This is an honor to be on your show, and thanks for inviting me. And by the way, tell all those fans I said hi. They're in the chat box there.
Oh, I will, and they can actually hear the show as well. So I will definitely do that. Nathan says hello, everyone.
Oh, I got the best fans out there. They're amazing.
You really do. Well, I must tell you that as long, you know, I have been an Osmond fan forever, and I'm sure many people can attest to this. As long, you know, it started way back when I knew, as soon as I found out who the Osmonds were, that was it for me. So I've been a lifetime fan, and so it's just so exciting to know that, you know, the success of the family just has continued through the years, and it's just great that you have branched out and you're doing your own thing with music, and so I guess one of the first things I want to find out is, you know, we started out with the Tailgate Song, and you have had your first three releases have gone to number one on the indie country chart.
Isn't that incredible?
So it is absolutely incredible, and, you know, congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. It's been a fun ride so far, and we're just getting started. In fact, in just a little bit, I'm supposed to be over in the studio recording some new songs. I've been in the studio all week long and all last week, and I've been producing and writing and producing some more. And we got some fun tunes that are coming out that the fans haven't even heard of yet, and we're just so thrilled that they're taken to our music, you know, as well as they are out there in radio land. I'm very, very excited to have had a chance to work with some great producers, but now that the fans are about ready to hear some more original stuff that I've been writing with a great writer over in Scotland. She and I have been really teaming up and coming up with some fun songs. My new single, which is called Stars and Stripes, it's currently number 23 this week on the independent country chart. So we're keeping at it. We'd love to see 4 in a row.
Well, you know, and I have been following the Stars and Stripes, your song, and it's moving up the chart, and it's moving quick. So I have no doubt that's going to be number one before we know it.
Well, that'll be my first original song that I've written that hits number one. I co-wrote that song with a lady named Marwena Diame. She's from Scotland, and I'm just so excited to see people embracing this song, even people that aren't from the United States, you know, that we've got fans all over the world, but, you know, we've got a lot of allies out there, and they care about our troops just as much, and they pray for them, and that's really what the song's about, is praying for the troops and for their safety, There's so many sacrifices that have been offered on our behalf to keep our nation free and to help, liberate other countries. And I have a lot of respect, not only for the troops, but for their families. They go through so much when they send their loved ones off to serve. And putting that video together was just a thrill because we have 0 actors in that. No actors in that video. Those are all active duty members of the military and their families that are in that video. We have actual live combat footage in that video. And so if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you go to YouTube tonight and check out Stars and Stripes by Nathan Osmond, and let me know what you think of it.
I have seen the video, and I must tell you, it is quite amazing, and you did such a great job of putting it all together because it was such a great, all-encompassing representation of the men and women in our armed forces and the job that they do. But I really like the fact that the one thing that you said was a reminder to pray for, our men and women in the military and for the families because, I myself have had family in the military, and my stepbrother's making a career out of Marines, and he's been to Iraq and Afghanistan several times on tours of duty, and I know how hard it is from firsthand experience. Just what it is for the families, the sacrifices that they have to make. So kudos to you for writing a song that means so much to so many people.
Well, I appreciate that. It's my father served. And my grandfather, who I'm named after, served. I've got a great uncle who's a Pearl Harbor survivor. I've got a lot of family members that have served. And in working with the Army Chief of Public Affairs in Los Angeles and putting this video together, she told me that, the people that have served, if you have a loved one that served, we count you as having served as well. Because the families go through just as much, she said, as the troops do, if not more. Because they're in the dark. They don't know where their loved ones are. They're sometimes kept in the dark for months, not knowing exactly the details of where their husband or their wife might be serving or if they're still with us. And that's a scary thing. I've talked to a lady once who said that she was Skyping with her husband once, and right in the middle of the conversation, they were under attack. He had to leave, grabbed his rifle, and ran out of the tent. I mean, that's intense. She could hear all the firing going on, and this is real-life stuff, and that's one thing I love about country music. It allows us to sing about what's important, what is real, and I think that's why I gravitated to country music is because I think that's what people want to hear nowadays. They don't want to be hyped. They don't want to – you can only hear so many songs about the club, or dance. And don't get me wrong, I love all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, people want to hear about stuff that moves them, touches their heart, talks about family, talks about country, God, troops, things that we live day in and day out. And so I'm so thrilled that I got a chance to write this song. I've been closing my shows for years with God Bless the USA, and I still do that song. But I wanted to write my own God Bless the USA type song that I could sing in my own shows. And so when Marwena got on Skype, in fact, that's how we write back and forth is via Skype. And she says, what do you want to write about today? And I said, I'd like to write about the troops. And the reason I said that is I hung out with a lot of our troops over in Hawaii last year. And I had a lot of these Marines that would come up to me and say, man, if you want people to embrace you in country music, Osmond, here's what you got to do. You got to write a song about us, and people will love it. And so I'm like, holy cow, I've been wanting to do that anyway. So I finally told her, let's write something for the troops. And I'm just so thrilled that the label liked it enough to make it the next single. And I'm grateful. We had some great people that joined us, Rick Prittis of Prittis Music Company. They jumped in, and they helped to be the executive producers on that video. Annan Flag Makers, who's like one of the longest-running flag-making companies in our country, they jumped on board to help us decorate the desert in red, white, and blue. And, we couldn't have done it without so many great people. I had a great director. I got this guy named Brandon Beckham, who I'd seen at, like, political rallies and things that I'd sung at. I didn't even know that he did cinematography. I knew he did photography. But then I saw his website, Marwena in Scotland found him online and said, check out this guy. He's in Utah. Maybe he could help you do your video. I'm like, that's one of the most patriotic guys I've ever met. I think he'd be perfect, especially this of all songs, to produce a video for this. And he totally owned it, jumped on this thing, and went the distance and made this the video that it is. And like I said, if you haven't seen Stars and Stripes on YouTube yet, make sure you go and check it out. Lou Dobbs even put it on his show the other night, which I was thrilled to hear, and got on his website as well. So, it's just starting to get out there, but we're doing a whole behind the scenes. There's a lot of miracles that took place in the making of this video, and people are going to get a chance to see those in this behind the scenes footage that's coming soon.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. If it's any, if the video is any indication, the behind the scenes will be phenomenal. And, and so I would personally encourage anyone who has not seen it to go to YouTube at the conclusion of this interview and take a look and listen. It is a great song, and I personally, just fell in love with it the first time I saw it and heard the song. And we will do all we can here through the radio station and the radio show to promote you and your music and this song in particular. I think
thanks.
It's a great message for so many people. So,
well, isn't that cool that we live in a country where we're able to talk about prayer on the radio?
Yes, I know.
How awesome is that? They're taking it out of our schools, but you know what? We're putting it back on country radio, and that's what I love. I tell people in my shows, I'm not a politician. I'm a country singer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just singing about what's important to me and to my family.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful for the men and women that we're singing about who sacrifice so much so that we can do that. And that's the most ironic part about the whole thing is that we're able to do those kinds of things. We're able to go and have concerts and sing and tour and travel the world because of so many untold stories of sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
right.
why I hope that we'll keep praying for our troops. I hope that we'll keep them in our prayers and let them know that we still care. Because we're very war-weary, as a nation. We hear about a lot of wars and this and that, and finally we turn it off and go watch some talent show on television, or we go watch some soap opera or reality show because we want to get away from it all. Well, the fact of the matter is these young people aren't going on vacation when they get on those planes. They're going to put themselves in harm's way for you and for me. And that it deserves to be sung about. And I'm just so grateful for all of us who are serving. If you're in the military or if you have family members that are now serving, let me just say thank you right now for all that you are giving because it means a lot to me personally.
Yes, and I have a question. Do you think that you might do a USO tour in the future?
Oh, I'd love to. We just reached out to the USO, want to make sure they got a chance to see this video. We're knocking on all sorts of doors to let our troops see this video and know about it. I just got off the phone. There's a big parade back in New York where the Wounded Warriors want me to come join them on their float, to come out and perform for them right there on 5th and 6th Avenue, and then ride on the float with them. And so we're talking to a lot of news people out there as well to try and go visit them and tell a lot more people that way about Stars and Stripes. So we're just getting the ball rolling on this song, and I hope that this becomes one of those songs when you think patriotic songs, you'll think Stars and Stripes. Hope that becomes one of those household songs that people want to hear, and that's my dream is that this song will be around for more than just a couple of weeks on a chart, but that it'll be something that people want to hear every single year. Yeah.
Well, again, thank you for putting something out there that so many people can identify with, and I believe it will be a household name, and I believe it'll be around for a long time to come. The title of the song in itself is just, so very catchy and not easily forgettable. So, just a wonderful thing. But I think too, Nathan, that your background in music and the family that you come from, it's just amazing. How far-reaching it is, but the fact that as a family you have a closeness and a love of God that really speaks volumes to so many. And I think that has been the true testament of your success, for all these years as a family. And definitely, in my opinion, probably the biggest and best family in the entertainment business ever. So,
well, you could be our publicist.
I don't say that lightly. Oh, well, hey.
You're just too kind. I love
serious.
it. We have been very blessed, and we give God all the praise. We couldn't have done this without the man upstairs opening doors of opportunities for us and our families, putting people in our paths to open those doors, and, of course, blessing my father and uncles with those, and, of course, Aunt Marie, with those talents to get the generation of music started. And now to have a second generation here, continuing it on, I just think that, all I hope to be is an instrument in God's hands, to be able to do good and to be able to create music that's both uplifting and inspiring and encourages people to be their best. and to write songs that help to cause people to think for a moment, to take time out of their daily lives to go, you know what, maybe I need to go tell my wife I love her. Maybe I need to tell my children I love them. Or maybe I need to give thanks to a soldier next time I see one. You know, or just things like that that just make you go, you know what, life is beautiful. And there's so many things that we so often miss because we're so busy being busy. And I think it's good to take time out, reflect, and write songs that cause people to do that. You know, I am so blessed to get to do what I do, and I'm so thrilled. We have so many of these fans that are there in the chat rooms right now listening in, and I just want to tell them hello again. And you know, if they have any questions, have them type a question for me because I'd love to answer some of their questions too. But you know, thank you so much for all the support that you show me and share as you share my music on Facebook and Twitter and all these places around the country and the world. I've been so honored and blessed to have met so many of these great fans out there, and I'm looking forward to touring a whole lot more and getting a chance to thank them personally in person. So this is fun to have a little chat room as well going on.
Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of family, I learned something recently about you that I've you know, aside from all of your success and success as the Osmond family per se, this little tidbit really struck me as extremely interesting. First of all, the fact that you have 7 brothers, that is amazing. And the other little piece and part and parcel to that is not only do you have 7 brothers, so there's 8 of you, but all 8 of you are Eagle Scouts. And I want to tell you, congratulations.
Can you believe that my mother earned 8 Eagle Scouts? Isn't that amazing?
Well, first of all,
we all worked hard for them. You know, in our family, Don, we're not allowed to get our driver's license until we get our Eagle Scout. So I was motivated. I was very motivated. In fact, I earned my Eagle when I was 13 years old. That's how driven I was, so that I could drive. And Scouting is obviously a great institution. I'm so grateful for Scouting. You know, when I was over in England as a teenager, I remember my father taking us on a tour of the Baden-Powell Museum over in London and getting a chance to see the guy who started Scouting, you know, and how it's been such a part of my life growing up. You know, my little boy tonight is going to PAC meeting, and how cool that is that to see, you know, my kids now going and getting into Scouts and earning awards and getting direction for their life and learning standards and morals and all those things that are not being taught on television. You know, that there's still a great program called Scouting out there for our young men and also Girl Scouts for the young women to teach them that they are in charge of what they do, that their decisions have a positive or negative effect. You know, they can choose the path they want to go to, but it opens their eyes and their minds to all these different fields they can go into, or hobbies, or life skills. And that's really, it was very beneficial as a youth with 7 brothers, you know, that we were all able to get active in Scouting and go on camping trips and learn how to survive and live off the land and all those great things, how to be good citizens in our community and our nation and in the world. And those are all things that I learned in Scouting. And so, yeah, it's a big deal. My parents are so proud of all of us as, you know, having Eagle Scouts. In fact, right here on my desk, I have this big award that they gave to me with this eagle head, and it has my name on there the day I got my eagle. And, you know, it's a big deal, especially to my parents, but also to me. So thanks for bringing that up. That's awesome.
Well, it's very near and dear to my heart because I grew up in, you know, around Scouting my whole life as well. My son, who's 17, he just achieved his Eagle Scout award in May. He received the award. We had a ceremony for him. And yeah, his dad has been involved. He's been in Scouting since he was, you know, old enough to begin Cub Scouting. And then as I was growing up, my dad and my brother, my dad got involved. He was Scoutmaster for years. My brother went on to be an Eagle Scout. I have cousins that were Eagle Scouts. You know, I come from a long line of that. And additionally, my dad, just a few years ago, after my brother and my stepbrothers were out of Scouting altogether, he continued in, and he was district commissioner, yada, yada, yada. And he was awarded Scouting's highest honor for an adult, which is the Silver Beaver Award, because he had because of his years of service in Scouting. And so a long history there, and that just really jumped out at me. And when I saw that, so, you know, your mom and dad are to be commended and congratulated for, you know, Scouting in this day and time, it's kind of one of those things that's kind of fallen by the wayside, and I wish more young men would be involved, because it is such a wonderful program. It has done wonderful things for my son, and the fact that he's now an Eagle Scout, it's going to open so many doors for him moving forward as far as being successful in life and being able to do things that he otherwise may not have ever thought about doing because of scouting. So
wow,
it's a great program. Great program.
Oh, it sure is. And you know what else is a good program? Your show. I'm actually here on the website. I can see all the people that are in there and their comments. It's awesome.
Oh, great.
So I'm reading what you're saying there.
Oh, good. So that's wonderful. Now, speaking of your brothers, I understand that back in the 90s, you guys had a group called the Second Generation Osmond.
That's right.
You were touring with NSYNC and, let's see, was it New Kids on the Block?
New Kids on the Block as part of their No More Games tour. We worked with a lot of the 90s bands, everybody from Color Me Bad to Salt and Pepper, Extreme, you name it, PM Dawn, just a lot of, 90s bands. We actually went to England 7 times in 1 year. We were doing a lot of touring over there. We were doing a lot of videos and recording over there. We went to Europe 7 times in 1 year. I remember that. It was incredible. In fact, I celebrated my 15th birthday over there in England, and I just remember how cool that was to turn 15. I went to the Hard Rock Cafe, the original Hard Rock Cafe in London. And the cool part about it is that we were just working on this big award show, and Color Me Bad found out it was my birthday. They were going to come to my party there. The label put a big party together, and they realized, oh, shoot, we got to fly out, that same day. So they called up to wish me a happy birthday. I thought that was so cool. I remember that as a 15-year-old, to have Color Me Bad call me up to wish me a happy birthday. How cool is that?
That was extremely cool, and I just think that's great. Now, were all 8 of you on tour together, or was it just some of you?
No, it was the 4 oldest. The
Okay.
The other ones are too young. We were young. I mean, like I said, I was 15 when I was doing all that. And, 13 to 15 is kind of when we hit the height of our career as a group. We had 3 songs in the top 40 in the UK and traveled all over the world. Went to over 14 different countries. We sang in different languages like Japanese and you name it. And just had a lot of fun. In fact, it was the late Bob Hope that discovered us back in 1986. That's where we really got started. We grew up on the set of the Donny Marie show and started singing. But it was Bob Hope that really gave us our first shot as a group. And after that, we signed on Curb Records. We were on Epic Sony over in Europe. And just had a lot of success. But the thing is that it got harder as we lived in Branson, Missouri. I took 2 years off of my career to go serve a mission for my church down in Santiago, Chile. So I'm fluent in Spanish, which is great. But I came back. I did musical theater for 2 years. I did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat around the country and around Canada for 2 years. Loved that. It was amazing. But then it kind of got to that point in my life where I was like, okay, go to school, get normal jobs, just like everyone else does. But I got so much music in my DNA, I got to get it out. So I decided I can move faster as a single artist, as a solo artist. I saw my Uncle Donny and my Aunt Marie do the same thing with their careers. They kind of had to break off the group to go do their thing. And so I decided I'm not going to tell anybody about it. I'm just going to go do it. Because one of the things is, Don, and I'm sure there are listeners that are listening to this right now that can relate to this. Okay. I'm sure we're all related to somebody that just loves us so much, they just don't want to see us get hurt. Would you agree with that statement?
Oh, definitely.
Well, I got a million of them. They're half the state of Utah. And so I didn't want to tell them about me going after my dream of a solo artist because I didn't want them to try and talk me out of my dream. Even my father's uncle, my great-uncle, Rulon, not Rulon, it was their uncle. He said to them, it was Rulon. He said, they're good, but they're not that good. Before they went to California, the Osmonds, to pursue their dream. So even they were had some negative comments about, don't get hurt. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you going to California? Why are you going to Nashville? I didn't want any of that, so I said, I'm just going. So I worked with the guys from Lone Star, and I decided I was going to go out and write with them. So I went out and wrote this song. Anyway, tied it up and everything they did, and right during that same time of them getting ready to record the song I wrote, the lead singer of 14 Years decided he was going to go solo. And I was thinking, great, there goes one of my favorite groups. There's my opportunity out the window. But I said, think fast. I just cut a demo with Lone Star, and how cool would it be if I recorded that song?
Mm-hmm.
And so Dean, the keyboard player and founding member of Lone Star, he says to me, Nate, why don't you come to my house and we'll do it right? So he actually produced the first 4 sides of my album, and I brought that home to my brother's wedding and played it for my family, of me with Lone Star playing on my tracks and Faith Hill's musical director playing on there, Jimmy Nichols. I had all these people that are singing on Honky Tonk Donky Donk singing on my tracks. I had Dirk Bentley's guitarist on there playing, and they're like, when did this happen? And I said, exactly. When nobody was looking. And I think I gained their respect because I didn't ask permission to go do what I wanted to do in life. And I think that's what you got to do when you grow your legs and you become a man. You got to go after what you want in life. And there's 2 types of people in this world: those who are saying, "Here's what I want to do," and they keep saying that for years and years. And finally they retire, and here's what they still want to do. That's fine. I didn't want to be one of those people. I want to be, here's what I'm doing type of person. And so the thing is, I was doing odd jobs as I was working to build my career, and I was working as a seminar director for a financial company. I've sold women's shoes at Nordstrom. I played their piano. I've done whatever it took to feed my family as I went after my dream as a solo artist. And I think that people need to know that just because you're born into a musical family doesn't mean you're guaranteed automatic success. I didn't want that anyway. I wanted to earn it. My father taught me to work for it. But the thing is that I was working for the seminar company, and I was doing 155 financial conferences a year during that time.
Wow.
And they weren't going to let me off. I'm their MC. So I had to tell them, listen, my brother's getting married. I need a week off. And they're like, you need a whole week off for a wedding? I said, you know how many Osmonds there are? You know how long that line is? That's going to take a long time.
My last
anyway,
name?
they let me have the week off. What they didn't know, and sometimes the secret to success is not telling everybody everything you know. And what they didn't know is that I was stopping through Nashville on my way back to Utah for my brother's wedding, and that's when I recorded those 4 songs. And you got to do what you got to do. In fact, we're working on a couple different things right now that are in the works that show people how long it takes to become an overnight success and what you got to do to reach success. And I think it's also important, speaking of success, is to define it early on in your career, because there's a lot of people that go after it that never earn a Grammy, that never earn a country music award, that never earn any of those things. So are they failures? I think that we all define our definition of success. And I tell people, as long as my kids think I'm cool and they think I'm a rock star, that's awesome. I've been so blessed.
Right.
And I actually took them to a pumpkin patch last October, and while we were there, my song came on the radio, and they heard it, and they said, Daddy, we're in this corn maze. Yeah, that's your song. How cool that was. That was rewarding for me to think that, my kids think I'm cool. And that's a country song right there.
That's right. Well, and to add to that, I think everything you said was just remarkable because, the world could be a cruel place, and so many people will define you and label you and really try to judge you. And I think at the end of the day, if you can be happy with the effort that you put forth and you know that you've given your all and you've given your best, that's the most important thing. It's just really so important to have that self-respect, the self-esteem within. And, and I think I appreciate you sharing your story with the listening audience because, I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that may have assumed, he's an Osmond, automatically his road is paved. But the fact that you wanted to do it to earn it, that means more to you in the long run than it could ever mean in any other way that you might have obtained it. So, it's just a really good thing, and I think dreams are good to have. And you're so right. There are 2 types of people, and you have to if you want something, you have to go after it. You have to figure out what it is you got to do to get it, and then that determination and that drive will propel you to places you never dreamed possible if you can just believe in yourself and believe you can do it. So and you may stumble, but you know, you may meet challenges, but that means, you know, that's definitely not a sign that you need to give up or throw in the towel. It means just keep going, you know, maybe not now, but, you know.
Exactly. I love quotes. I think we can learn a lot from history. And I just spoke to this youth group, these like 200 up-and-coming dancers, singers, actors, you know, the other day at this performing arts school. And I shared a quote from Abraham Lincoln, who said that my concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. See, that's the thing. I showed him a video that you can find on YouTube called Famous Failures. And it's a great video because it talks about people like too shy in school, you know, that her teacher, you know, told her that she'd never make it. And it was Lucille Ball. You know, she was shy.
Wow.
You have people like the Decca recording artists, you know, the Decca recording company turned them down because they said they didn't like their sound and guitar music was on the way out. The Beatles. You're like, holy cow. You know, he was cut from the basketball team, went to his home and cried for a couple hours. Michael Jordan. You're like, what the heck? You know, you got Beethoven. His whole musical teacher told him he was hopeless as a composer. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination, had no original ideas. Excuse me? You know, so the thing is that I told these young people, you know, when people tell you no in life, N-O, those are some great initials, Nathan Osmond, N-O. People tell me no, all they're doing is cheering me on. I'm dyslexic anyway. No looks like on to me. So bring it on, baby. And that's what I try to motivate young people to go after their dreams and to not take no as an answer. No is just a delayed yes in most cases. And I tell them to make no their vitamin. And in this business, you're going to be told no a lot. I went up and down Music Road talking to music labels. Disney, they told me no. Lyric Street, well, they're out of business now, and our label's still going. So the thing is you can take no for an answer, or you could look at it as a blessing sometimes. Well, find another way. That's why my whole album that's coming out is called Climbing Fences, because that's what it's about. It's about keep climbing. You're going to fall. You're going to stumble, cut up jeans, you know, tore up hands. That's the thing. It talks about that. Paying my dues in my cowboy boots. Here I come. That's one of the lyrics from Climbing Fences. And you're going to hear about it. I wrote it from my heart because that's what I'm still doing. You know, Garth Brooks said no fences. I'm climbing fences.
There you go.
And I hope people like this country album. It's fun. We're writing some fun country songs. I just wrote a song the other day called Nashville, Here I Come, which I actually started writing 6 or 7 years ago when I first went after my dream in Nashville. And I went out there on blind faith, and it took me 6 to 7 years to really get it, to really understand Nashville enough to be able to write the lyrics for this song that really will click with anyone who's ever gone after the dream in Nashville. And I hope people like this song. But that'll be on the new album. I've got Stars and Stripes that'll be on there. I've got a song that NASCAR just requested. It's called Rev It Up. So we've got a lot of fun, new, upbeat, rocking, guitar-driven songs that I think the fans are really going to dig.
Well, I want a copy, and when it comes out, I want to get it on the station. It just sounds like it's going to be a great album, and I want to do all I can to promote it because, you know, our show, Nathan, is tailored and targeted towards indie artists. And, you know, they don't, every single one of them, and some may be listening tonight, you know, every single one of them have a story to tell, just like you do, about, you know, trying to make it and trying to get signed. And you know, and so, you know, I feel like maybe our little effort here is maybe not a whole lot, but every little bit helps. And so the more that we can help them be heard and help you be heard, the better their chances, you know. And now with the wave of social media being what it is, I mean, that's just half the battle won. You know, from 2 decades ago, there was no such thing. So it's really interesting how, you know, it's kind of all started to snowball in that regard. And indie music is just, it's really good. I like to define it as, you know, the music industry's unintentional best-kept secret. Because in a lot of cases, some of the music I just sit there and I go, how is this not on mainstream radio? I mean, it's that good. So
well, it's very competitive. It's very cutthroat as well. I've got other family members that could really be opening doors for me, but the thing is that they've got their own careers and they're going country. And so, even their own label tried to blackmail me. And it's just, you got to know, and Donny told me this too. He says, Nathan, you got to have thick skin in this business, because he says not everybody's going to like you, and you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, all right. And then you get in this business and you realize he's right. Not everybody's going to like you, but you know what? Those who do, I like them right back, especially on Facebook.
Well, see, there you go. And you having, the wealth of an aunt and uncle galore who have been in the business for decades, and they know firsthand. I mean, what a gold mine of information to steer you and say, just like you said, it's not always going to be a bed of roses, but it is. You have to grow a tough skin. I mean, and because, the world and society will tear you down in a heartbeat. And, and it's easy to see why, like, so many celebrities out there, they let that affect them, and then it affects their lives. But you just have to keep remembering who you are and the mission you have with the passion that you have. And that's what drives you forward,
Uh-huh. Absolutely. You got to be hungry. A good friend of mine, his name is Les Brown. He's a great motivational speaker. And he always told me that we did a double disc CD together called So Here's What You Do. We've never even released this, but I would love to get it out there. But one of the things he always says is, Nathan, you got to be hungry. You got to go for it. You got to want it so bad that you're willing to do almost anything for it. And I hope that if there's young people that are in this chat room, or if there are people listening in right now that are listening going, I really would like to get in this business, are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to push hard enough and long enough? And I think that's not only in this business, but in any business. See, there's this great piano player who these people went back to meet, backstage, and this one guy says, man, I'd give anything to be able to play like you. And this guy says, no, you wouldn't. And he was kind of like, this guy's a diva. But then he stopped and thought about it. He says, was I willing to practice when I was 6 years old and curve my fingers and go to recitals and practice and do all those things and go to school and learn how? No, he wasn't willing to do that. I believe that any skill is learnable, that anything you want to do in this life is achievable, but you have to know what it's going to take to get you to where you want to be, and have to be willing to pay your dues. And don't expect things just to be handed to you. My father always says life is tough, and he spells it T-U-F-F. Target is the T. You got to know what you want in life. Second of all, you understand what it's going to take to get you there, and then you really got to focus. Because I think that we live in a very distracting society, a very noisy world, and there's going to be every freak and their mother trying to distract you from getting to where you need to be. You're going to be tempted to play Angry Birds all day, or video games, or watch television. Turn it off. Go do your thing. See, we're so busy watching other people live their dreams on television that we never get around to ours.
I know. That's right.
I think that's the secret, is you got to focus, and then F is fight. You got to put the eye of the tiger in there. You got to put the umph and triumph. And I believe that there's I'm not trying to turn into Tony Robbins here, but I got a lot of passion. I want to utilize my position in the spotlight here as an artist to try and inspire people to be the best that they can be. I think we hear enough negativity out there in the world that it's refreshing to be able to talk about things as if there's hope, and that there's things, that things are going to get better. Because I think that they can and they will if you want it bad enough. It's just like a garden.
That's right.
I'm terrible at gardening. We hired somebody to come do it. So this is probably a bad example. But the thing is that life is like a battle for real estate or for territory. It's kind of like a garden. If you stop pulling the weeds, what happens? What you don't want automatically takes over. So constantly, every single day, you got to get up with that same drive that this is what I am, who I am, what I want, and here's what I'm going to do to go after it. And anyway, it's fun. I'm loving to read all these comments they're saying here. This is fun.
Well, we're going to do better than that. We're going to open up the phone lines to take a couple calls now. And
oh, cool.
Let's see. We're going to start with area code 435. You're on with Nathan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Diane. I'm calling from Virginia. Hi. You know me.
How are you, Diane? Hey, how are you, Virginia girl?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm Diane Gilman. Remember me from Cranston? Yeah.
That's right.
She's saying happy
Good times
birthday
in
to
Branson.
me. Yeah, I'm in Virginia now.
Well,
I
good
agree
seeing you,
with
girl.
you're saying. Yeah,
Well,
I agree with
appreciate
you're
you
saying.
listening.
I really agree what you're saying, and it's true. And I remember your grandmother said that. Olive Osmond said that to me. Instead of, trying to get, watch us, you should do something for yourself. I agree with that. I really do.
Yeah.
I enjoy your family and everything, and I enjoyed your singing and everything. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Really
You know what Grandma also told me? She told my father this, actually. She was in a coma. This is shortly before she passed away. She was in a coma, and she came out of this coma. My father was sitting by her side, and she reaches over and grabs his hand and says, "It's amazing what we can accomplish when we don't care who gets the credit."
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking. This is the lady who started the Children's Miracle Network. A lot of people don't know that, but Olive Osmond was the one who founded it and started it. It was her dream, and she never stood up there and bragged about that. All she cared about was helping kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And I just, when she said that, it just resonated with me. And it is. It's amazing what we can all accomplish in life if we're not worried about who gets the credit.
That's right.
And obviously, I believe in giving credit where credit's due, but I think you got to put your ego aside and just go after it for a bigger cause than you.
Right. Yeah. I agree. You got tears in my eyes. I've been struggling, but it's true. It's true what she said, and I really appreciate you and your family and your father and all the awesome.
Well, thank you.
Help me.
It's so good to hear your voice
so much. Yeah, good to hear you too. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Well, God bless you. You're awesome.
All right, you are too. We all love you.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Are you going to go to Branson at all? Or?
Oh, I sure hope so. I know the brothers are going out there soon. I was just stopping through there just recently on my way down to Arkansas. I did a big show for Tyson Chicken and Fish and all those, the Tyson food group.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awesome. But, it's the first time I've really been there since 1998, and I was only there for a week.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. You were little.
So I would love to get back to Branson. It's a great town. I'd like to do something to help them get back on their feet after all that tornado craziness. I still saw a lot of damage there that needs to be fixed.
I was going to go back, and I'm kind of glad I didn't go back, but I'm sad.
I say we do something to get Branson back. Let's do something.
Yeah, you do. I miss Branson. If I could go back, I'd go back. I'm in Virginia now. I found my father. So I'm near my dad. So.
Well, you're awesome. Well, thanks for calling in tonight.
You are too. I love you guys so much. We
love you right back.
Hi. All right.
I will.
Thank you. Have a great night. God bless you.
Thank you, Diane. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Sweet.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, that's cool. People can call in here. I love talking to the fans. This is great.
All right. We're going to area code 330. You're on with Nathan. Hello. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
You're on
are you
with
there?
Nathan?
Hi, yes. This is Darlene from Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes.
Oh, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. So nice to talk to you again.
You too. We love the Buckeye State.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
went
good state.
I was a part of the Osmond Brothers tour and the awesome concert at West Jordan. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wasn't that a fun show?
It was.
Wasn't that a great show?
And I tell you, to see those little kids getting to hear the music for the first time, getting their hearing aids, oh, I cried and cried and cried.
Wasn't that amazing? Did you like my song I wrote called Music to Your Ears?
Yes, I did.
Wasn't that fun? My cousin Justin, we were just talking about my grandmother Osmond. She originally wanted to start a foundation that helped the deaf. And that's where the whole idea for Children's Miracle Network came into place, because she said, how can we pass up a child? But the thing is she's my cousin Justin, he's the one deaf cousin of all the Osmond grandkids. He says, I want to bring back Grandma's original dream to help kids like me.
Aww.
And that's where he started the Olive Osmond Hearing Fund. So they're out there doing a lot of good. So I said they deserve a theme song, especially since they're bringing music to people's ears. Let's write a song called Music to Your Ears, and so that's where that whole thing got started.
That's great. Are you going to put that on your album?
Well, it's on iTunes right now. It's on Amazon and other places you can download it. But, yeah, that goes to help benefit that foundation.
Okay. Yeah,
so, yeah, if you're listening, you like to get that song?
Concert ever. Do what?
Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, if you like that song, just go on iTunes. You can download it tonight.
Okay, I'll go and get that and download it. That would be great.
Well, you betcha.
Because I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you bet. I appreciate that, and hope that anyone else that wants that song, it's called Music to Your Ears, just go on iTunes and you can find it. And while you're there, you can download the Tailgate song and Stars and Stripes.
Oh, okay. That's great. I mean, it's wonderful, all the
Shameless
music
plug.
that you have, and so, I mean, it's
well,
just,
thank you so much.
I mean, I've been, the first time I was 6 years old, and the first time I ever saw Alan Wayne, Merle, and Jay on television, and I absolutely fell in love with them. My mom said, "Oh, it's just a crush." No, it's not.
We have the most loyal fans on planet Earth, for sure. And I'm just so grateful
definitely.
to have so many great fans, and I appreciate you guys calling in tonight.
I mean, I was just logged in on Facebook, and I saw that, and it's like, because I always check your website every day, 2 or 3 times a day. And I saw that, I said, I have to go and see if I get to talk to him. And, I mean, I went from Utah in June, then I went to Bryant, Indiana, and now I'm going to Branson for the whole week in October.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome.
My brothers and sisters says, "Oh, you really got the Osmond fever, don't you?" And I said, "I never lost it."
Well, you know, one thing, Don, it's just really cool. Just goes to show you that the Osmond fans are the most loyal fans on earth.
Yeah.
Is when the Osmonds received their star in the Walk of Fame there on Hollywood Boulevard, we are the second star in the. I mean, you know how many stars are there.
Yes.
We are the second star in the history of the Walk of Fame to be purchased by the fans of the artist, meaning that all the other stars you see there were purchased by a studio or a producer or the artist themselves or a publicist to create a stir for their artist or to put something there to remember them by. But our fans got together, put money in a big bucket, and paid for that star. It's over $16,000, I think it is. And not only on that, but they all flew themselves there. They almost shut down the street, Hollywood Boulevard, because of how many fans were out there. And it was just so rewarding. My family just flipped out. They just thought, this is the coolest. They made it the Osmond Family Day there in Tinseltown. And then they all went back to the hotel and had the whole ballroom booked and did a whole big thing for the family, big get-together. And we'll always remember that. But that just goes to show you how loyal these fans have been for over 54 years in show business.
It's unbelievable. And you are undoubtedly, as I said before, in my opinion, you are the greatest and best entertainment family that has ever been and ever will be, in my opinion. I mean, there are a lot of great artists out there, but, you know, you said it best. The fans are what has made you guys successful. You're just enormously, you know, talented, and you have God-given gifts, which obviously have propelled you to great heights. But fans are just unbelievable. So
they truly are. It's my favorite part.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, well, the one thing is that a gentleman that you might remember him, his name was Elvis Presley. He said something to my father and uncles that always stuck with them. He says, "You guys are doing it right." He says, "If I could go back, and if I could go back, I would shake every hand, I would sign every autograph. Don't ever stop doing that. You guys are, because the Osmonds are always doing that." And he couldn't do it sometimes because of safety reasons, but the thing is that he was a true gentleman, and he always just told our family, "You always take care of your fans, and they'll always be there for you." And that's how he did it, you know. And so we thank him for that advice, because that's truly our favorite part of performing. You know, music to our ears is to hear them scream and to jump around and sing our songs, and that's music to us up on stage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, Darlene, thank you so much for calling in. We're so glad you were able to join us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Nice talking to you. Bye, Nathan.
You too. We'll talk soon.
All right,
bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, now, Nathan, I don't know if you can see the chat room, but we have someone in the chat room from the UK. Her name is Ann Davies. And
cool.
She says, hello, Nathan. It's great to be here. It's great here in the UK. Please, can you say hello? And I love your new album, Stars and Stripes. Wish you could come to the UK like a lot of your fans would love to see.
Well, I tell all my UK fans that I love them back right now. They're just the coolest, and I miss the UK like crazy. I've been talking to my Uncle Merrill even about possibly coming over and doing some things together, just to get me back over there. It's been almost 20 years since I've been to the UK. That is too long. We just need to get back and need to make some music for our UK fans. They have been some of the most loyal fans. In fact, they call it Osmond Mania back in the 70s. Just like the Beatles were here, that's how it was for my family over there. They've just been incredible. In fact, just a couple of years ago when they did the 50th anniversary tour, the Osmonds sold out Wembley Arena twice in 10 minutes. That's sick. That's incredible.
It is.
And they've ever since then, they've gone back. They just came back this year from a 50-city tour where they went over there and did over 50 shows in 60 days. That's amazing. So they have been so loyal. So God bless our UK fans. We just love you to pieces, and I just want to get back and give you all a big hug.
Yes, indeed. And Ann, thank you for listening tonight. We really appreciate you being on all the way from the UK. We have international fans, Nathan. Who knew? So,
love it.
I kind of know how you feel now. Okay, we have got time to take one more call. Let's see here. Who do we have? Area code 704, you're on with Nathan.
Hi, this is Jorpa.
Hey, what's up, Jorpa?
Well, thank you. My name is Pam, but I'm Jorpa on the website. Hi, Dawn. I just want to call and say hello,
I love Pam.
And I just want to let you know that I've been a fan of your family since the late 60s.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, and...
you were 2, weren't you?
No. Actually, I was about 9 years old at the time.
I wasn't that far off. That's awesome. You became a fan back in the late 60s. That's great. So you remember the Andy Williams shows, right?
Somewhat.
Yeah, I don't because I wasn't around then, but I remember the
sure.
rerun.
It's still hard getting used to. It's hard getting used to the idea that the Osmonds have kids and grandkids now.
I know, definitely.
And I'm going to tell you this, and you can tell Donnie, you can tell the rest of your family. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. My bedroom walls were covered with all the Osmonds, and I mean the whole family.
I love it.
Yep.
And I love it.
And Donnie and I were supposed to get married, and Michael Jackson was going to sing at our wedding.
Yeah.
But things just didn't quite work out quite well.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
Pam,
great. Well, instead of Jammin, would have sang Pam.
Yes.
Well, Pam, did you have the Donny Osmond pillowcase?
No, I never had the pillowcase. I had all the albums. I had all the pictures on my walls.
Did you have the Barbie dolls? That's what I want to know.
I had the Barbie dolls, Nathan.
Yeah, I did too. Someone gave them to me.
See, I never knew there was any Barbie dolls out there.
Yes.
That's how backwards I am.
Everything.
Look,
they had lunch boxes, everything.
Yes. 1 year for Christmas, all I wanted was the Donny Marie Osmond doll, and I wanted their studio stage from the show, like what was on the TV.
Oh, yeah.
And all the outfits. I had about 20 different outfits, the 2 dolls, the whole stage setup. I had that thing for years, even after I became an adult, and I had it packed up in the attic. And, it was just that was all I wanted, and I remember getting that and thinking, oh wow, I have hit the jackpot. It was incredible. I loved the show, and it was just. It was all about Osmonds for me. So.
Oh yeah, the cartoons. I love the cartoons. I watched them religiously.
Yeah.
I wish they would come back in retrospect. I would love to watch them again.
Yep, I found them on DVD somewhere, like on eBay or somewhere. But yeah, those are great cartoons.
They're on DVD. I'm gonna have to look those up.
Yeah, so I'm sure you can find them out there somewhere on eBay or somewhere. They've got to have them on. Just Google it. But yeah, isn't that cool? It's weird when your dad was a cartoon character. It's kind of interesting. I've learned the older I get that my family isn't really all that normal.
Oh, you
but
think?
That's okay. We like being not normal.
Hey, that's okay. That keeps everybody. It keeps everything very interesting, Nathan. No doubt.
Absolutely.
And
I actually own a pair of original purple socks that Donny wore. We found them in our garage. My father's like, "Who wants these?" I'm like,
well, when I went to, I was going to take saxophone lessons because of Donny. But things changed in life, and ended up having to move to Georgia to live with my grandmother for a few years, and so that didn't work out. But yeah, I had purple socks too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and it's fun to hear about all the posters you had on your wall. That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. When my father, we had a guest come into the house, and my father made me take everything down, so I was in there very gingerly taking all the little pictures and big pictures off the wall and everything, and trying to take real good care of them and everything, and I wasn't doing it quite quick enough, so him and my grandmother came in there and ripped everything off and threw it in the trash.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to tell you, I cried like a baby.
Oh, yeah. That's like taking Justin Bieber down.
Who's Justin Bieber?
Now, okay, Nathan.
Donny was the original Bieber.
No, yeah, there you go. No offense to Justin Bieber. I like his music, but he will never be an Osmond, okay?
No, he will. He will not.
I appreciate that.
So, well, thank you so much for calling in, Pam.
Well, I'm so glad to talk to you, Alan. And Alan. You look so much like your father, Nathan.
That's my father. He's a good man. I'll tell him you call me Alan. That'll be a compliment.
All right, thank you. You do that.
Well, thank you so much for calling, Pam, and have a great night.
It was good talking to you all.
Thanks, Pam.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, good stuff, Don. Well, that was fun to get to visit with the fans, and I hope I can come back on your show again sometime. We can do this again. This is cool to get to connect with them on the phone like this.
Oh, most definitely, and definitely want to have you back on later in the year after your new album comes out. Do you have any idea when you think that might be out?
This week we're supposed to be setting a date, and so I will let you know as soon as I know anything. I know they want to do it close to tailgate season, which is right around the corner here, because they're going to actually put the tailgate song on this album, because it'll be the first release from Pretty World Records as an album, and so they wanted to include the hits like Sweet and the tailgate song, and also the Jack Green song I recorded called There's a Whole Lot About a Woman. I got to record with the first ever CMA Award winner, Jack Green, one of his hits from the 80s. It was just incredible to work with such a legend. He just got accepted into the Country Music Hall of Fame, and so a big shout-out to my buddy, the Jolly Green Giant, Mr. Jack Green.
Oh, gosh. Well, our time is about up, but I absolutely can't thank you enough for being here tonight and just being with taking time away from your busy schedule because you're in the throes of, this album right now and just taking time out for us and the fans. We appreciate it so very much.
Absolutely. Well, that's what it's all about. We couldn't do this without our fans, and I just want to let them know I'm about ready to pull into the parking lot of the recording studio. I'm going in tonight, even as I'm actually in my car driving right now. Almost there to the recording studio, so I'll be recording tonight. So just know I'll be singing to you in your dreams.
Oh, great! Well, we're gonna close the show tonight with your song "Stars and Stripes," and we will definitely have. I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we will definitely have you back on later in the year and catch up with you and find out what's been going on. But we wish you all the best of luck with this new album, and keep us informed. We want to do all we can to help you get the word out and get your music out there.
Well, thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Thanks again to all the fans out there who are listening and who joined us on the chat room there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and thank you everyone for listening tonight. We've enjoyed having you, and once at the conclusion of the show, it'll be available for immediate download or playback. So you can just listen away. So thank you so much. We will be right back here tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. So we hope you will stay tuned and tune in. And to close our show, we've got Nathan Osmond's song, Stars and Stripes. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
The desert's my blanket, and she's tucked away at home, watching over our children, but I'm not alone. Side by side we face this battle in this God-forsaken land, facing the enemy, united we stand. I'm not looking for glory, you don't even know my name, but I won't run when rockets fly and the bullets start to rain. There's a price attached to freedom, but this gift I give to you, I'll lay down my life for the red, white, and blue. Oh, just promise me you'll pray for me before you close your eyes in peace tonight. I will fight for you, even die for you. It's an honor fighting for the stars and stripes. I wasn't home for Christmas, I missed the birth of our baby girl, but all of it's been worth it if it means a peaceful world. If I have to lay my life down, just promise me that you'll be strong. I'll be watching over you your whole life long. Oh, just promise me you'll pray for me before you close your eyes in peace tonight. I will fight for you, even die for you. It's an honor fighting for the stars and stripes. I pledge allegiance to the land of the free, as long as it takes on bended knee. So just promise me you'll pray for me before you close your eyes in peace tonight. I will fight for you, even die for you. It's an honor fighting for the stars and stripes. So let's bow our heads tonight before we all turn out the lights. Pray for those brave souls fighting for the stars and stripes.
Thank you so very much again tonight, everyone, for listening. That was Nathan Osmond of Stars and Stripes. What a delightful young man. It was so great to have him with us tonight, and we will have him back later in the season. Tomorrow night, we will have Mr. Darren Jones of the 90s R&B group 112. He is going to be with us live in studio taking your calls, and we will be talking with him and finding out what he's got going on. So we hope that you will be right back here with us tomorrow night. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. And, again, thank you for being here, and we will see you again. Take care and have a good night.